Welcome to Damn Good Marketing Podcast, where we ditch the fluff, cut the BS, and get real about what actually takes to market your business like a freaking pro. I'm your host, Shelby Clement, Louisiana native, two-time boy mom, and the founder of Shelby Clement Marketing, a social media agency built for small-town entrepreneurs with big-ass dreams. I left corporate where I was underpaid and underestimated, built a multi-six-figure business from the ground up, launched a sold-out marketing event, and created this podcast to give you the truth behind growing a brand online without losing your mind or your values. This is for the ones who are tired of spinning their wheels, ready to show the hell up, and finally market with confidence, clarity, and consistency. So if you're ready to grow, get bold, and to build a brand that actually turns heads and opens doors, let's do the damn thing. Want to know what's really happening in our city? Inside New Orleans Magazine is your exclusive look into the people, places, and culture that make this city iconic. This bi-monthly print and digital magazine brings you stories that celebrate local art, style, cuisine, and community. New Orleans elevated. It's not just a read, it's a lifestyle. So grab your copy or subscribe to InsideNewOrleansMagazine.com and experience the city from the inside out. Guys, my favorite human, and the person that told me, she slid up real quick when I said the first thing I would do if I started my business over would be to hire someone to do my own content. She was like, that's not accurate, actually. And so she's here today. Her name is Becky, and she's my attorney. Only mine. So don't actually try to hire her after this, but she's really badass.
I might be horrible in the podcast, but I'm really good in person, so don't judge me by this.
She's actually a really freaking badass person as an attorney and a podcaster. She's going to be a speaker at DGML.
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about you and what you do for Arena Collective.
I am one of the founders of Arena Collective. I've been a lawyer for, I thought it was 12 years, but Lauren told me today it was 15. So I'm older than I thought. And I've mostly practiced in business, and I did like a stint in adoptions, private adoptions, and foster care for about 4 years. And then got back out of that and went back to business.
And you love it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's one of the co-founders, I think you said this, or maybe you didn't, of Arena Collective. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit on where y'all came up with the name?
Oh, gosh.
Because I think it came from you, no?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
So, I am not good at public speaking, but being a lawyer, you have to do it sometimes. And I almost get like nervous to even tell a story. And I'm not even doing public speaking. But I had to go and argue something. My first job was in Orleans Parish, and I had to go arguing in court some motion. And it was because some of the other attorneys involved had to be, they were like city attorneys or something, so they couldn't go do it. So it wasn't even really my case. So anyway, never argued before, go and do it. And the judge like stopped me in the middle and was like, just stop. This is so bad. It's painful. He's like, are you a new attorney? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I hope you get better.
Oh, wow.
And he like denied the motion. It was bad. And so by the time I made it back to the office, the owner of the building who was involved in the case somewhat came up. He was an older man named Mr. John Lambert. He came up and had printed out the Man in the Arena quote and kind of sat with me and was like, I heard it didn't go well. And I just don't want you to give up or let that be something that, deters you from moving forward in your career. And it didn't. And I continued to try. I never became great at it, but I got the job done. And so luckily now as a founder, I don't have to do it. And I think I'm better outside of the
I think you're such a badass attorney. So like if you found that.
We named it Man in the Arena after the Man in the Arena quote.
Yeah. And now we're here today.
Yeah.
2 years later. Because you're a boss bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay, we're going to go straight into questions, okay?
Okay.
Are you excited?
Yeah, always.
Go, woo! Okay, we're going to use that clip too. All right, let's just be blunt with this, right? Most businesses don't think they need an attorney until there's a fire. What's something you wish every entrepreneur would get into place before they end up panicking in your inbox?
That was a deep gasp. It's something I hear a lot. It's like not budgeted. Like when they are doing like their startup budget, they don't factor in needing an attorney. And so even when it's time to panic into the inbox, they still don't have money for an attorney. And so that's a scary part for someone that's an entrepreneur, because we're entrepreneurs, but we're also lawyers, so we can fix our own problems. And so we do wonder what these people are thinking. Do they not know? But then we have the clients that we've told and warned, and they still just try to wing it. It used to be Google. Now it's even scarier. It's like ChatGPT lawyers.
It's literally chat. Everybody's like, I can Google a contract. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
So I don't remember what the question was, but those are my thoughts on whatever it was.
It was, what's one thing you wish every entrepreneur would get into place before they start panicking?
If you have an operating agreement, that's very important, especially if you have a business partner. And then, let me just start even before that. If you have the proper entity filed with the Secretary of State, your EIN, all of that stuff to get started.
AKA your LLC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, your LLC. It's mostly what we use in Louisiana. Some cases we'll start a corporation, but we can talk about that on another podcast. So get your organization formed in Louisiana, get your EIN from the IRS, open your bank account, get your operating agreement, especially if you have a partner. And the operating agreement just breaks down what the responsibility is for each member and how distributions are going to be made. And also, too, if there's two of you, there's a tiebreaker provision we put in there so you don't end up at court. Without the operating agreement, if the partners can't get along, the courts just usually say, that's fine, we'll just dissolve the whole company, sell off all the assets, and whatever's left, you two can split it. And so it gets really complicated without that.
Would you say, how important would you say contracts in general in your business are?
I mean, that's what I do.
I know.
So I think they're really important.
Well, for the people that literally make their contracts on AI or TikTok or trust freaking Google, what are the risks that you are taking?
When you do a DIY contract, it's not going to have everything that needs to be in it. So you can eke out a little bit, there'll be some things you can eke out of and say, oh yeah, I did it. This is great. I'm going to do this forever until you can't, until you hit a problem that's not in there. And a lot of them that I see are, why can't I get attorney's fees? They're the ones that breach this contract. Well, in Louisiana, you can only get attorney's fees if it's allowed by statute or contract. And if you didn't put that in there, then nobody gets them. You have to spend all of your money to enforce this contract.
Boom. Okay. Well, you did this contract. Let's talk about one of my issues we dealt with recently. Remember, I was in Tennessee not long ago, and maybe you don't know my whereabouts. Actually, I just texted you, and I was like, this client is off the rocker. Anyway, and I dissolved our client agreement. You're talking about the other one. I'll talk about that too. But I dissolved the client agreement when in reality, if I wouldn't have had a contract in place, they probably could have sued me for backing out of an agreement. Correct?
Well, how you end up getting sued without a contract is because there was confusion. It wasn't clear about what you're doing, what I'm expecting. And so some people think contracts are great. I'm going to get this great contract and we're going to trap someone and screw them, and that's just not what they are. To me, contracts, and I feel this way about prenups too, it's a whole nother subject. I feel like a contract is putting in writing what everyone's expecting. And I expect to do this for you. I expect you're going to do this for me. You should expect the same. And they should have an attorney look at it too. And so if everything's clear, if they want to get out early, there's a provision for how they get out early. And they have to do what it says. Now, sometimes you can say, look, I don't want to work with this person either. I wish they would just go away. And so you let them out. So just because it's in writing and in a contract doesn't mean you have to do it. Because if the two of you can agree to do something different, you can. But it's the moment you don't agree is when you have to go back to the contract.
Yeah. And honestly, though, even having contracts in place, you still have a hard time. The one that I am specifically speaking on, we definitely reconstructed all my contracts to be what we're offering. This is what you're signing to, and I let them out of this contract that they didn't have to pay anymore. And then that's when they were like, well, let me have my attorney look at it. So there's still in contracts, there's still lines where people are going to threaten to call an attorney. And then I was like, you know what? Then you can talk to mine.
Right. And I think that's great. I love working with other attorneys instead of someone that's not represented because the other attorney gets it. So trust me, I get clients that call me and they're like, I'm pissed off at this vendor, read this contract and get me out of it. And I'm like, well, you can't really get out of it. I'll call them and talk to them and see what we can do. But you signed it. You didn't let me read it before you signed it because you wouldn't be having this problem right now. And let's see what we can do. And that's usually how it happens.
I think it's just because people don't have what you touched on earlier is they don't have the budget. They don't want to waste the time. Maybe they're entrepreneurs, they're fast paced. So at what point do you say this is important in your business?
Well, pay for it now or pay for it later.
Yeah. And it's more expensive later.
It is
to clean it up.
harder. And litigation to me, like I will always recommend looking at not litigating first. Like, let's explore what it looks like to not litigate. What are you really losing? What are you really paying? What is it really going to hurt to let this person walk away, or for you to walk away and leave something that, you know, you might feel is unfair? Because if you look at the other option, which is actually going forward to litigate, it's extremely emotional, it's exhausting. It basically takes over all of your mental, your mental space for a long time, when really you're supposed to be focusing on running this business, but you're focusing on anger and fighting with someone. It usually has a lot of egos involved.
Mm.
I see a lot of peace when people are like, okay, I'm going to learn from this experience and I'm just going to give this person this. I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to think about it anymore, except for to remember the sting of it and not do it again.
I remember a couple months ago, no, that's a lie. It was a couple years ago. I had a client that just like backed out of the contract and they owed me like a lot of money. But in my gut, I knew not to work with them, but I did it anyway. And we didn't pursue it after you and I had talked about it. And I let it sting at first. And now I just use it as a learning curve to say, like, this isn't my ideal client. I felt it in my gut. I knew not to work with them then. And then I did it anyway. And then look what happened. Because I was money driven, egotistical at that moment. Now I'm like, I know clear as day, like what I don't want to work with.
And my first boss, he would say this, and I really do believe it. He would say the world is round. And it's not like you're hoping bad things will happen to someone that does that, but it is round. Like, it's going to come back to him and catch him some way. Like, even if it comes out the hide, like it'll come back to him. So, I mean, that's what I think. I'm like, somebody's going to screw them over. Look, I'm not the sole person that can make this fair. So, I'm just going to take mine and go.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
I didn't think I had a choice.
Yeah. You, okay. Oh, this is good. You personally helped me. Obviously, we talked this through. Help me through speaking contracts, employee issues, business formations, and now an acquisition. What are some of the most common oh crap moments that you see, and how can people protect themselves up front?
One that we get a lot of oh crap moments is with employees, and it is because you're hiring the wrong person. Or maybe it's the right person in the wrong position. Maybe the training isn't there. Maybe you're not a good leader. And so you blame that employee. And so then it's like, I want to fire them. I'm mad at them. And so there's anger behind the firing. So it's not like a peaceful, termination. And then there's also, there I have a bunch of employees leaving and I want to do a non-compete. And so,
Oh, good transition.
I know Lauren spoke earlier about trying to, instead of finding like only legal ways, like we look at practical ways too. And so when we hear stuff like that, instead of it triggering our lawyer brain that says, yeah, let's go do this, let's go put this in writing and get them into court, we say, well, why do you think you're having problems keeping your employees? Or why are you so angry at this employee that, wants to leave whenever they've, done the best they could? Let's talk about that, because you might need to grow as a business owner or a leader.
Yeah, and what you just said is like really powerful too, because a lot of people think that you can uphold them. Maybe you can, maybe you can. I'm not an attorney, you are. So, what do you feel about like non-competes in contracts?
I think they're valid in some contracts, because if you take in someone that's never done something in your industry and you coach them up and like teach them everything and all of your secrets and give them access to your clients and everything, I think that there is a protectable interest in there that if it's reasonable, and I think a year is fine. I know that legally you can get 2 in some cases, but I think a year is fine in most cases. And it gives you a chance to keep your clients, wrangled in, your employees, your staff, all of them on focus, and to let that person go. And then a year later, if they want to start a business that competes with you, I'm like, the world, the pie is big enough. Everyone can get a slice. I'm just going to do it better. I'm going to keep my clients. I wish you the best. It's kind of like my personal thought on it.
God, can I have some? You know what? You definitely need a personal brand.
What? You see your face? Can you please pause that for us?
I just feel like you're so direct and to the point that like I just feel like it's captivating to me. I'm like, what would I'm gonna put a sticky note.
We don't even need 45 minutes for this podcast. I can get it done in 15.
Oh, okay. We're gonna still have questions. We still have questions. Like, what would Becky do? Like one time, I had this obviously disgruntled ex-employee, and Becky was like, "I would tell you if you did something wrong," and I was like, "I know that." So actually going there, here we go. You've been called a bully by someone who clearly underestimated you. LOL. Seriously. How do you handle that line between being a protector and being perceived as too much?
If I'm protecting someone, I don't mind if you call me a bully because that's your interpretation of me. And it's like they're giving a word that has meaning to them to something I'm doing. And that's fine. You can call me that. It doesn't bother me. But I am going to protect people. I mean, it's
It's your
something,
job.
and it's something that's been in me since I was a little kid. Like, I'm going to protect whatever I can. And if you call me a bully, that's fine.
That's why she's my attorney. I don't
care.
I know. Okay, we're not good.
Next. No, I'm just joking.
One of your gifts is saying the hard things, but clear and calmly. Wait, the question. How do you balance being kind and being direct when someone's making a decision that could cost them their business?
At my best self, and Lauren could attest to this, that's true. But when like personal things start stacking up, because as a business owner, mom, wife, all that stuff, you have a lot of personal stuff happening too. So my best self, yes, that is absolutely true. Because I work on that. But whenever I'm my worst self and I still have to go to work, I'm not like, but then I apologize later. Like sometimes I'm not clear because I don't have like that extra in me to like to communicate with someone how they need to be communicated with in the moment. But I'll always stop, think about it, and come back to them and say, look, I'm sorry I didn't communicate that well. Let's talk about it.
How would you give someone advice as a mom, wife, and entrepreneur in today's time?
I have lots of like thoughts and feelings that I can't put words to sometimes. So when I read someone else's words, it kind of helps me explain what I've been thinking, for like years or something. And the whole work-life balance thing was always makes you feel unbalanced because of the word balance. And that's just not what it is. And I read this author, her name is Nora Roberts, which strangely enough was my mom's favorite book. So I'd always buy those for her. But she said that it's juggling and some of the balls are glass and some are plastic. And so while you're juggling everything, you just got to make sure you're catching the glass ones and the plastic ones can fall, bounce, and then you can snatch them up next.
Oh, wow.
And so when you set your priorities, those are your glass balls. And so, and that kind of helps with something else I heard recently too, with like mom guilt, all of that. If you are feeling mom guilt, just stop and think, is this one of these priorities I've set for myself? Then you're not feeling guilty about it. It's just some feeling you're having. And then you can just like, get that head trash out. But I can't give anybody any particular advice for all of those reasons I just said. Like, you have to pick your own glass balls. You have to pick your own plastic ones, and whatever your priorities are, if you're living your true priorities, then it's going to feel good. And like, even on the hardest days, it still feels good because I'm like living my priorities and like juggling those glass balls. balls.
I was waiting on Lauren's comment to that, but
that masculine energy coming in with like ball jokes.
I actually beat you to it, but
wait, what else could you juggle? What are those things they juggle? Pins?
What are the things
pins?
Yes.
You're more like generally like sticks of fire.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
No, I had a friend one time tell me, because she had like a really horrible thing happen to her. And we've been best friends through little Shelly. And she's like, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, you've had such a great, lovely life. And it was like someone just came and dumped like a bucket of water over you. And you're like trying to like catch your breath and like figure it out. And I was like, I've just never had that happen. And she's like, I know, it's like your whole life someone's been shooting in the face with a water gun.
I'm quitting. Oh my God.
But it was like, that's true. I mean, it is. But you learn to be like flexible.
You're going to dodge them water gun squirts.
Yeah. Just figure it out.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay. You're helping me through an acquisition right now. For someone who's thinking about buying or selling a business, what are 3 things they need to know about what's going on
with the acquisition?
Mm-hmm.
You need to know your numbers. That's like the most important thing. And let's see what else. I mean, I want to say obvious things like, do you really want to buy the business? Like, you have to know that. Because you'd be surprised how many people are like, I think I want to do this. And you're like, well, this is a big deal. Go and pray about it. Call us again. So you don't necessarily need to know exactly what is going on in the business. Because like you said, you can get in there and learn it. So I would say my numbers, and I think you just kind of figure everything else out. Does it make sense to you financially? Does your spouse, are they on board? You know, like your support system, if you don't have a spouse, like your support system, are they on board? Because it's going to be a big, undertaking. I would, that's kind of it.
Is acquisition as hard as people think of it? Because it's just this like long, scary word, or is it like Lauren said, it's like the aftermath of the acquisition?
I think it's I think it's just a scary word. Maybe, I don't know. It just means buying something.
Okay, guys, if you're listening to this and acquisition gives you a little bit of like, oh, that seems like intense, let us know. DM me if you feel like I feel.
When you look at everything that comes along with the word, it's like it's an expense of your time, resources, and your money. And so that is what I look at the most. It's like, do I have the time for this? Do I have the resources for it? Do I have the money for it? And if any of those are no, then I wouldn't go forward with it. And then maybe it's not right now. Maybe it's like not a no, but maybe it's the answer is not right now because there's time, resources, and money. You can collect that later or something.
And honestly, too, if it aligns like with you, your brand, how you're going to actually run it or do it, like, listen to me. I'm like your attorney. Just call me your attorney. Yeah. Actually, do not call me at all. I'll make you call Becky.
Yeah.
Actually, another attorney because she's mine.
I will say most of the acquisitions we do are from repeat offenders that are buying similar businesses or something that very much in line. But so it doesn't have to be the exact same thing in your brand. But then we have like a lot of restaurant owners that are buying other restaurants. It could be completely different than the restaurant they're having, but there's that.
I can't wait.
Lauren's telling me to do arm's reach.
I just am so excited for people to see you at DGML. How do you feel about
the appeal? I feel like what the value I bring to the room is just listening and thinking about it and getting back to you later.
What if the audience has questions? Are you okay with answering them?
Yeah, I mean, I've sat on panels. When I did adoptions, I would sit on panels.
Well, that's what it's going to be. I'm not asking you to get up there and do a keynote.
Oh, no, we're not doing that.
No, it's me interviewing you.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we'll take audience questions.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just think that this is a huge part of people's business that they actually leave out. Or they're like, I'm just going to get a TikTok contract. Like, shut up. Like, go get an attorney. Like,
someone really did send me that the other day. Like, I'm getting really good at ChatGPT. And I'm like, oh, that's great.
That's great, sweetie.
And look, I've tried stuff in ChatGPT just to see what comes out of it. And it doesn't quite understand Louisiana law. So especially with leases, like don't do your leases on there and don't do what was it? Oh, what's the other thing? Oh, your estate planning. Don't do that.
What about brand contracts for like people that are aspiring influencers or content creators?
I think a ChatGPT contract is better than nothing.
But could they just like come to you and get like one contract, a blanket contract, maybe, or no?
Yeah, that's what I do. Like if you have repeat vendors or clients that need contracts.
Well, you do that for me, but like in the sense of like someone that's working for like a brand, like as a UGC creator and influencer, same thing? Would it be just a blanket contract or would it be different?
What does UGC mean?
User generated content.
Okay. Yeah, I would just get a template. Like we'll create a template contract for you, but you're responsible to change all of the names, all that stuff. And don't do that and then not do it right because then you're just going to get screwed up again.
Yeah.
Like you use the wrong person's name throughout the whole contract and get someone else to sign it. I mean, that'll get you. So, I mean, we will do a very simple template contract for you and then show you how to use it. But you still have to pay attention to do it right.
Yeah. And honestly, guys, if you're listening to that's what they do for me. They give me contracts and I just fill in for employees and
sometimes you send them back and say, hey, check this out, which is what a lot of clients do.
Well, also, too, like, there's stuff as we grow and, like, we change our services. I'm like, okay, now I need you to remake this one. This is what we did or we didn't do. And, like, this is what we learn, too. Because, like, when clients can get out or they do something and I'm like, ooh, I'm like, we also here, we need to fix.
We also have an associate attorney to where if you have created a chat GPT contract for an hourly rate, she can review it and make sure it stands up to Louisiana law.
Cool. Good thing to know. Okay, what's one mistake people make when they get excited about growth and skip the fine print?
Like the fine print and contracts?
Mm-hmm.
You just end up in court. Or you end up like burned. I mean, it's like, maybe that's life. You're just learning lessons. I mean, how much money do you have to spend on learning your lessons is kind of my question. Like, do you want to learn the lesson from an attorney that could charge you $500 to $1,000 to do it? Or do you want to learn it by like losing a $10,000 deal or, having to pay that much in litigation or something.
Yeah. Serious question. How much do you love when Arena makes you do videos?
It's made me question my career choices. Like, there's these videos going around there, like, I have to act like I'm a teenager and create content
Yes.
for people
That
that
you're
are,
like sliding down the stairs?
Yeah.
Can you remake that? That'd be hilarious.
I mean, I don't know if my 41-year-old body could slide down the stairs on purpose. I know accidentally I could.
Or it's the one I sent you did I send this one to you where the guy's like in the canoe and like he flips over and then it's like people are like, how are you handling everything you're juggling? And it's like he keeps flipping and then he gets stuck underwater and then it's like all the weight. I don't know, whatever. It's like funny shit like that, like you could make instead of like being interviewed. Don't tell your boss that I said that.
Well, the thing is though, is whenever I
can drown.
well, I mean, I've done that
No,
a
I
lot.
thought it said like
I'm not good at kayaking. I'm like horrible at it.
somebody just needs to follow around with a camera.
No, this is the thing. I have so many fantastic self-deprecating thoughts and like things I say on a daily basis. But I can't say them aloud to everyone because I don't want our clients to think I'm a nut.
It's a snort that you just did right there. Yeah, but like I honestly love that. But I guess I'm like a tiny peanut on your like client roster, even though I'm the only client on your client roster. You know what I mean? Like, so my opinion totally doesn't matter. But I'm like, you're a bad bitch.
I think after working with me for a while, most of our clients get me and they would think it's funny too.
Redefine meetings.
Yes. And then, but also too, I love my clients. I think like I'm like, they're my friends. Like I love them. I like want to protect
Oh
them.
my God, did you mean that? We're friends?
Yeah.
I'm going to put my face on a t-shirt with you.
Look, I'm always telling Lauren, like, I'm not trying to find new friends. Like,
Oh, I say the same thing.
I have enough. I have fantastic friends that I've grown up with that I just adore through all walks of life and or met in law school too. And then I like meet these clients. I'm like, God, I think I might want to be their friend.
Oh my God. Is this your moment of me? She only has one client. It's me.
I know.
I'm like fangirling over Becky right now. If anybody's watching this, you don't understand. Okay, whatever. When someone works with you, what do you want them to walk away feeling? Legally protected, obviously, but what else?
Look, that is it's probably been in every one of my bios since, I became a lawyer. And I want everyone to feel like relief. It's like, maybe that's why I was put on this earth, is to like, just give people relief, and so when I give them either advice or tell them what we're going to do with their estate planning or their business or whatever, is that I can actually see sometimes the relief these people get, like peace, and that's what makes me happy.
Okay, I love it. Now talk about how much you love plants.
Okay, now how much I really love plants. So during COVID, I told Lauren I had taken a break from adoptions. I needed like a mental break. And it was actually my first time since I was probably like 16 that I was not working. And I started playing with my plants. I started collecting house plants.
Did you say playing with my plants?
I'm playing with my plants.
I love you.
And it's because when I do it, no, my mind is not like thinking of anything. So I have like very clear, like no thoughts. It's fantastic.
Have you
Except for, is this plant dying? What can I do? Huh?
Have you always loved plants?
No, I didn't.
So this just came up when like you really just wanted to turn your brain off.
During COVID in 2020, I don't know. I don't remember I do remember I got a fiddle leaf fig and
Who gave it to you? You just walked in a grocery store and you picked it up? Like, what did you do?
They didn't sell those then. This is that long ago. It was at Home Depot.
Oh, you just were in Home Depot randomly.
No, I think I probably saw something in a house and I was like, I hate big plants. And so I was like, I want plants. So I went and bought that and it was a complete asshole. And so I had to start looking.
The plant, everybody.
The
Not the person, the plant.
I had to start looking into how to keep it alive. And then I just started buying more and more. And then I started propagating them. And then my husband built me a greenhouse. And I called Lauren and told her that I was not going to go back to work to be a lawyer, that I was going to open a plant shop. And I had a name for it. I think I even reserved it with the Secretary of State. I called like nurseries and started getting pricing.
Stop.
No one was doing it at the time, by the way. Now they're everywhere and I love them. There's maybe too many. I just bet. Maybe there's too many at this point. But at the time, there weren't any, and that's what I was trying to, like, fill a hole.
So in that moment, when you called Lauren and you said, I don't want to practice law anymore.
I think I'm just going to own a plant shop.
And what did she drive to your house immediately? Like what
No,
did
she
she
said-
reenact?
Okay, Becky. All right. Just call me when you're done with that.
And how long was that?
Well, then I got pregnant.
Oh, and there's that.
And then our calls got a little more serious. And then we wanted to move out of Baton Rouge to like more like peaceful place. And so we started looking in Slidell on the water. And I was like, let me stop in and see Lauren and let her meet my kid. And she's like, you ready to go back to work? And I was like, yes, I am.
Oh, you gave her space. I was eating lunch, but you saw other people like promoting it. I'll say, sit down. She'll be done here in a second.
Yeah.
So how long was that?
I lasted 6 months
Holy crap.
as a stay-at-home mom.
I feel like that's a long time for you.
It was.
Okay. How old's Wilder now?
4.
4. Oh, sweet angel. I love when you post pictures about you having to bring every monster truck with you. I feel that in my bones.
I think I probably have 3 in my purse right now.
That's what I said earlier, too. My purse is like a Mary Poppins bag. All right. So final words for entrepreneurs listening who keep saying, I'll deal with the legal stuff later. What do you want them to hear today? Loud? Well, very calmly and clear because you're not really loud.
I mean, I'm not like a salesperson. So
don't sell them. Just
my
talk.
aloof responsibility. I mean, my aloof response is like, okay, that's fine. Just call us whenever you need us. But I don't think that's a good idea.
Then that's a great answer.
Okay. Like, we'll be there when you need us because that's how most of our clients come in. But if you come in before you start your business, I'll be really happy.
I feel like I just made like 17 t-shirt designs in my head for you. Like, oh, that's not a good idea. You should just walk around with that on your shirt.
No.
And then Shelby's my favorite and my only client.
I mean, yeah.
And I love plants.
Do you?
No, I meant like those are t-shirt ideas for you.
Look, I could go on a whole podcast about plants. So you're about to get...
Me and you aren't besties in that manner. We're just besties in other ways because I kill plants. I don't have a green thumb.
I know.
Okay, well.
Lauren,
see?
Plants, poor thing.
It wasn't painful, huh?
Is it done?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to keep going?
No. I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, this was Becky. Becky, you say thank you.
Thank you
For listening to us today.
What's funny is I listen to podcasts.
But do you listen to mine?
Yeah. I mean, you probably know. I've texted you about it. I'll be like, that was a great one. And you're like, you think so? You should listen to this one.
She's like, whatever, I'm reading all of them.
It actually starts playing after another one. And so,
You know what? When like I am like words of affirmation, I feel like a little. So like just any day randomly, you want to just be like, you're awesome. I'll be like, oh my God, Becky.
that
listen
is
to me.
my worst one. What, your love language is words of affirmation?
I actually don't know what it is, truly. Because I love touch too. Isn't that one? Is that one? And can I say affection and words of affirmation?
We wouldn't make it.
And gifts.
We wouldn't make it as a couple.
Just say I love you. You know, like just only certain people that tell me that. Like I'm like yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like you a lot. I love you.
People are on the podcast doing things weird. So we're gonna wrap this up. All right, everybody, you can find her at Arena Collective, or you can just like go call her to be your attorney because she's baddie and people call her bullies. So it's like I'm cool with that because that's your job. You know what I mean? Like you're my protector. Got it. All right. If you like this episode, please like, comment, and share. Leave us a review. And until next time, let's freaking get it.